Well, welcome to my live event. I have to be honest, this is not live because my computer was not working correctly, so I thought I would record it and send it out to you at the correct time. So today I want to talk to you about time management. And I love doing these events because it's fun to post on Facebook and LinkedIn, get the comments back, and then begin to talk to you about the subject matter. And so today, hopefully you've seen my time management post this past week. And with my coaching business, it's called On Purpose L3. And I intentionally talk about living life on purpose. And so today we're going to talk about time management because it's at the core of what makes each of us able to live within that sense of balance. And I think time management begins to become one of the key components for us to live life on purpose. Now, some of you are coming today as the CEO of a company. Maybe you're a leader of an organization, or you're a mom and you have a million things going on with your kids and all of their activities. And so for each of us to control our time would be fabulous if we could just figure out how to do it. And I like this topic because I've had to work really hard on it in my own life. And to be honest, once I began to own my own business and be a mom of teenagers and do all of the activities, it actually took me over the top to a place where I was not quite sure if I'd be able to manage my time. Well, a little while ago, I hired a coach and she took me step by step through the process of time management. And it was a life changer for me. And so today I come to you knowing the processes of which I went through and some of the key components that were involved in the entire process. Now, I have to be honest, I've been a really good time management type person. But here's the one thing that I didn't quite understand. I didn't understand the change of mindset and the change that had to happen within my determination and perseverance in order to do it. James Clear, who wrote the book Atomic Habits, said, there is a myth that says there's not enough time. Well, there's plenty of time. There just isn't enough focus with the time that you have. You win by directing your attention towards better things. Now, one of the things that I had to learn in time management was to change my mindset and to begin protecting how I used my time and the value that I have with my time. Because my success is in my daily agenda. Now, I wanted to highlight three things that are kind of behind why we don't succeed in time management. They're kind of like the demon that attacks us. And so the first one I want to talk about is fear. Fear holds us back from taking action when it comes to time. What happens is when we don't take constant action on the things that we know we need to do, and we resist the challenge to overcome that nagging thing of time, we begin to have fear and we begin to live in fear. Now, I want to give you an example. Last week, my daughter was stuck in this idea of fear, and she said, I can't get it all done. And I said, yeah, I know you can't get it all done today, but you can get it done if we manage out what you have to do and how much you need to get done every day. Well, what happened was we began to manage it out, and she would continue to get stuck in, I can't get it all done. She began to hold on to that fear of not being able to do it all. And the problem is she was looking at the whole entire sum of everything she needed to do over the week, and it was Monday, and she needed to take it little tiny steps at a time. And so the first thing with fear is we have to stop the mindset that I can't do it or it won't happen. And that fear has to be stopped in order for us, shall we say, to cross the bridge of time management. The second thing that we need to do is we need to address our pride. We want to do things our way, and so as a result, we want to do it all. Now, this is a problem in our pride because we like the way we do it. We don't like the way other people do it. And we like to do it everything our way. And this keeps us from asking for help. One of the things that I liked in a couple of the LinkedIn posts, some of you responded back to me, and you talked about delegating. That time management happens when we begin to delegate, and that is true. And truthfully, when it comes down to pride, pride can stop us from delegating because we want it all. We feel really good about what we do, or we're afraid to let somebody else do it. And this is where we have to learn the ability to delegate. I had a client 6 months ago. She was constantly overwhelmed by her life. I would come and I begin to talk to her and say, let's try to break down what you have to do. And so we'd talk about it, and that we'd come back the next week and she hadn't done anything that we agreed to doing because she was overwhelmed and she didn't want to burden somebody else. She was afraid to give away the tasks that she had because she was afraid that if she gave it away, they wouldn't do it as well as she would, or she just didn't want to bother someone. So it's really important that we understand if there's a pride issue in us not wanting to give it away, that we address that. The third thing that I have found in time management that really stops us is this whole stress. We spend so much time stressing about what we have to do, about the situations that need to happen in order for us to get done the things that we need to do. And we don't get anything done. I've been around a lot of people who've said to me, I have so much to do. And if this is you, honestly, you need to book a call with me because your stress needs to be managed. And you need to find the time to come to terms with all that you have to do. But here's what happens is that when we say that I have so much to do, we think if we're busy, then we must be productive. Well, that's not true. And sometimes busy is just busy. It's really not productive. But when we find ourselves running around in a lot of circles, we have to stop and say, wait, I'm not getting things done. I'm just being busy. And so when we get this stress and we pile things on top of each other, we have to say enough. And one of my LinkedIn comments, one of you said that really sometimes for stress, some people enjoy stress and enjoy living in the life of stress when it comes to their time management. And if that's you, I think you need to recognize it and be able to say, I don't want to live there anymore. And I know that there are days when we say, what did I do today? And the response is, I have no idea. And we know that we're busy, but are we productive? And so ask yourself this question and think about, what are you doing in your life? Maybe you're stressed, and maybe that's keeping you from being productive in your time management. Now, I want to thank all of you who have been on LinkedIn or Facebook this past week, and you've seen my post. Many people have chimed in on what makes their time management really work. Now, I have 3 teenage daughters, and my kids have taught me that time management is so important. And even from an early age, I began to teach them about time management. And at their elementary and their junior high, they actually were in classes where they worked on this topic specifically. And I have to say that in their junior high years, I was very happy with how they were managing their classes and their extracurricular activities. But I have to be honest, during COVID, we lost all those tools that we had gained. And during that time, there was no reason, honestly, to use any of our time management skills. And so when we went back to school and we slowly went back last year, They used some of the time management skills, but they didn't need a lot of them until about January of 2022. And then our lives began to get really busy. And this past fall, I have to say that they got stuck a lot in their time management because they literally had to relearn it. There are many days that they would have meltdowns from time to time because it was hard to relearn many of those skills because they weren't old enough to have imprinted them in their own mindset. Now, I know that even for adults, many of us today, that understanding time management skills and imprinting them in our mindset is a hard thing to do. And here's the secret that I want to share with you is that when we understand time management, the first thing that we have to understand is a change of mindset. We have to want to be able to manage our time. We have to want it, because if we don't want it and we're not ready to confront our fear, confront our stresses, confront the things that have stopped us, we're not going to get it. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we have to recognize that time management's a process. It's something that we learn. And so no one's good at it at the beginning. And just like with my teenage kids, they learned it, but they didn't imprint it in their mind enough where after COVID, they went right back to their old ways. No, they had to relearn it. And so today I'm not going to give you a formula to make your time management to be figured out. Like, I'm not going to give it to you in a nice box with a ribbon on top. But what I can tell you is if you follow the steps to learning how to manage your time, you're going to see your production increase and your mental capacity increase, and your stress levels are going to go down. So, what's the bottom line? You say, what is it, Ruth, that I need to know? And I'm going to tell you, it really comes down to developing habits and your daily routine, because time management is found in your daily agenda, what you're doing every single day. So today, what I did was I put on my website a free download on time management. Go to my website, and I have it on the screen, but it's www.onpl3.com, and download my time management matrix. What I want you to do is a 3-page document is I want you to begin to create a list of tasks. It's going to show you how to rank those tasks in importance. Once you've done that, you can assign each task a time slot on the matrix to determine how much of your attention each one of these things is worth. The ones that have the highest impact are the most urgent, and those must be your priority. While those that are not as urgent, they can be postponed, delegated, or put at the bottom of the list. So go to my website, go ahead and download that free document. But one other thing I want to ask you is, are you getting bogged down with the things that you need to do? Are you thinking that you're too busy and you don't know what's the most important job that you'll do? Please don't hesitate to private message me, because I'd love to chat about where those priorities are and how to live your life out on purpose. You know, fear, pride, and stress, each of these have to be removed in our lives in order to live our life on purpose. So I hope today that I added value to you. I would love to continue our conversation. So please go to my website, get my free download. And if you want to have a conversation with me, there's also a little button there that you can click, and you can sign up for a time slot to talk to me, or send me a private message. I'd love to talk to you. Leave a comment on Facebook or LinkedIn, and I'd love to hear from you about your time management system. If you have one that you love to use, please share that. And if you have any tips, please give that, because I believe that we all live life together better. So until next time, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you think about what it is that you are doing in order to live life on purpose.